everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Nicole and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark, and today I want to talk about some features that you should be using on Poshmark. These are things that maybe you didn't know existed, or maybe you didn't know that you can use, and maybe they're just really helpful and they're gonna change the game for you. So definitely use these features and keep watching if you want to know what these features are, and make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss a future video that I do here on this channel. Okay, so the first feature that you should be using on Poshmark that is actually really helpful, and I didn't even know you could do this until a few days ago when I looked this up, but you could customize your shipping label. So when you go in, there's like a menu and you could customize the size of it. So if you have a printer that prints, smaller, you can do that. You could print so it has like the preview of what the item is versus not having that, like the packing slip. You can customize, if you want to get the QR code versus just the shipping label itself. You could customize it in so many different ways, and really, I didn't even know you could do this, and this is really helpful if you need to switch things up. You could also customize how it's sent to you. There's just so many ways to be flexible with this, and I really recommend playing around with it to really fit your needs. And all you do is go into your settings, and you can toggle on whatever you want and mess around with it to get it to be exactly what's going to fit your needs. And this would be really helpful and great, and it would really kind of make a shortcut for you if you are sending out those offers and sales. You definitely want something that's going to be easy when you're shipping out your labels. And a feature that I mentioned briefly in that one was the QR code. So if you do not have a printer, or maybe your printer died, the ink died or something like that, maybe it stopped working in the spur of the moment, in those shipping label options, you can customize it to show a QR code instead of the label. So if your printer dies or you can't, print something, it's no problem. You just switch it over to the QR code and it will appear, and then you could just bring your phone with the item packaged to the post office or wherever, and they can scan that QR code. So really, it kind of helps you and it saves you from the hassle of having to go out and get ink if your printer dies. But this is something that you have to toggle on and off in that setting. So a lot of people think the QR code is just going to appear. You have to toggle it on for it to really appear, but it could be really helpful if your computer or your printer dies and you don't have ink or something like that. The next feature on Poshmark that is really helpful to use if you are a buyer on Poshmark is actually the Repose feature. So a lot of people don't know about this feature or don't like this feature, especially those sellers, but really all it's doing is making it easy if you make a purchase as a buyer and the item doesn't fit you or it's not really exactly what you wanted. You can reposh it, and by doing this, it allows you to use the original listing and just click a couple buttons to say that you're reposhing it, and it generates the listing based off of the original listing, and it generates the description and everything like that. And it makes it so it's easier, because if you're a buyer and only a buyer on Poshmark and you don't want to be sitting here listing and you don't have the means to do that, you basically use the original photos, but it gives the original seller credit at the bottom, so it'll say reposhed from so-and-so, and it just helps the person sell the item more. I personally don't see anything wrong with this. I know a lot of sellers have this turned off in their settings, but I think it's actually great, and it gives those people that are just buying an opportunity to sell things if they don't work out. Because at the end of the day, there's no return policy on Poshmark, and maybe something isn't going to work for you. Maybe it's not going to fit you properly. And without having to go through the hassle of listing it yourself, if you're not a seller, this is just a great tool to use. And the last feature I want to talk about in today's video is actually the trending report feature. So a lot of people don't know that Poshmark actually sends out a trending report every month, typically towards the beginning of the month. And I think this is actually only available for Posh ambassadors, because I've seen people question where to get it. But it's in the newsfeed, and it comes up at the top, and it says your Posh Insider report is here. And so every month they send out what has been trending recently for you to then try and sell yourself. So it basically is telling you, hey, this is what is selling fast now on Poshmark. Definitely try and sell this if you can. And so I think this is a great tool to use, and I think people don't utilize it enough, because people are always wondering what they should be buying, what is trending. But Poshmark is literally telling you, hey, these things are trending by this much more this month. So it's telling you to get those items in your closet. So definitely utilize this if you are going out and getting inventory and you don't know what to get, and you kind of want a little heads up on things that are going to be selling well, definitely use that trends report, and you will actually have a lot of luck with your listings, and you'll probably find things that are going to sell a lot more, and you're going to have a quicker turnover. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, and I hope these features were things that you can use in your day-to-day activities on Poshmark, and I hope it was helpful for you. If you want to see another video on things that are going to help you have consistent sales on Poshmark, you can click right here. And if you want to see another video on reasons your listings aren't selling, you can click right here. But until next time, I will see you then.